Hello everybody, this particular video that I'm making today is going to be a direct video response to devchelle2 from the Breakfast Club. A link to his video will be provided in the description down below so that everybody can become more familiar with the situation. Hello devchelle2. I want to share a couple of stories with you from my own personal life when it comes to undertrained police officers and corruption. Before I get started with anything devchelle2, I wanted to let you know that I have about 15 years in law enforcement, and I wanted to again share a couple of stories with you. Now, the first must be back in the summer of 2002 in my hometown. I lived in a rough neighborhood. The neighbors next to us really had a hard on for us, basically, and they caused a lot of problems. Well, it just so happens that one day, I guess they took it upon themselves to call the police and make up a bunch of lies about us, basically being up to no good in our own home. Well, it just so happens that that particular day, I went out to my car because I had to get something. I completely forgot about getting something from my car and I didn't want to leave it there. Well, the moment I walked out of the house, immediately I felt that something was wrong. Now, immediately for me, I felt very uncomfortable in this situation, so I turned around and I walked back towards my house. Well, at this particular moment, there were a couple of officers that were walking around my house with AR-15s pointed at me. Now, at this particular point in time, this situation was very terrifying for me because I was basically looking down the barrel of an AR-15. They told me to put my hands up, and I asked, "What was this for?" You know, and they had stated that they received complaints about me being up to no good inside my own home. And this really scared me out of my fucking mind because, again, AR 15s were pointed at me. I didn't know what was going on, and I asked them, why did you guys come to me like this? Why did you guys approach me like this? I serve my community just like you guys do because at that particular point in time, I was a detention officer. I spent long hours working with law enforcement and all types of law enforcement agencies. These people knew who I was. These people knew where I came from. They knew that I wasn't a danger to them, yet they still found it to be convenient to point AR 15s at me. This is something that I have never really understood, you know. Well, after a brief period of time, these police officers thought that it was necessary to think that everything was okay, I guess, and they left. And I really have a strong opinion about undertrained officers because in this situation, these officers that were involved were obviously untrained because they knew who I was, yet they still decided to take it upon themselves to treat me like a criminal. And I knew at that moment that if I made the wrong move, I probably wouldn't be making videos today. And that's one story that I wanted to share with you. This is really upsetting to see a lot of untrained officers across the country abuse their power the way that they do. These types of things are completely unnecessary. Back in the late 90s, I used to party a lot. I mean, pretty much every day. And one particular day, I was sitting there basically partying, smoking a joint and drinking some beer, when a police officer decided to take it upon himself to walk in the house. And immediately when he approached me, I just basically froze. I didn't know what to do because I had a beer in one hand and I had a joint in the other. I thought that this cop was basically going to arrest me. And he looked at me and told me, "Don't worry, John, I'm not here to arrest you." He walks past me, goes to the fridge, and gets a beer while he was on duty. And I sat there and I thought about it for a moment and I go, God damn, this cop must be stupid to do these types of things while he's on duty. It's just totally insane to see cops do these types of things. And there's another time that I wanted to share with you, devchelle2, that involved a police chief that I know personally. Now, back when this individual was a captain, if you will, he got in trouble for basically selling a lot of methamphetamines, if you will. And he was put in jail and eventually he was bailed out. Now initially, one would think that, hey, this individual would be dismissed from his job. He wouldn't be allowed to be a police officer. Instead, the complete opposite happened. He was promoted to police chief. And I was like, wow, wow. I was completely amazed at this situation. So when it comes to the conversation about police officers, the waters can get deep, they can get murky, they can get dark, unfortunately. And this is something that society has to put up with on a daily basis. This thing really makes me angry. And it seems to me that these types of things will never end. I think that these types of things need to be discussed. They need to be brought out to the open so that everybody can, discuss these things involving police officers and maybe come up with ways that some of these things can be solved. Because it does have a negative impact on society with cops using excessive force, a lot of people losing their lives, unfortunately, corruption. These are big concerns for me, and I hope that you liked this video. I wanted to run a couple of things by you, so let me know what you think, devchelle2, in the comments section down below. I would really appreciate it. And to my subscribers, please feel free to do the same thing. I would be interested on seeing what you guys have to say about this as well. Share this video with anyone that might be interested, whether it be on Facebook, Google+, Tumblr, Reddit, Yahoo, or wherever you guys hang out. Till next time, the Quiet Atheist is out. And remember, if you can't be good at it. Most of all, thank you all for watching, and I will see you next video.